Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane and we are standing in a historic post office from 1905 that has been transformed into a beautiful, luxurious suite that I will show you today. If you like clean and minimal design and just a historic charm that has been kept throughout the design, this video is for you. If you like the video, please make sure to subscribe. The apartment itself is located in Bad Bevensen, which is a very small town in the south of Hamburg in Germany. And this town has just really kept its historic charm and its old architecture. And this was formerly the post office in the Emperor times. Like I said, the building was built in 1905 and it just has a beautiful brick facade that was kept. And the inside was completely remodeled and redone in 2015. And this is what we have today. Because this building is over 100 years old, we have these incredibly high ceilings and we have this beautiful old historic architecture. Unfortunately, throughout the 20th century, the building inside has been completely destroyed and all of the beautiful historic moldings have been taken away. But it has been beautifully redone into a modern, sophisticated suite. So this is the master bedroom and you can see that I'm being blinded by the beautiful afternoon light. And you just have this gorgeous light in here and we can again see that everything has been kept in beautiful neutrals. We have this soft grayish beige bed that has also been covered in fabric and it feels very warm and very welcoming. In front of the bed, this is also a very traditional thing to do. We have this bench that has also been covered in a soft textile beige and it just feels very luxurious and you can almost feel the spirit of the post office, and at the same time you still have this very modern and clean design. The overall layout of the room is very classical. We have the bed standing in the center of the room, accompanied by 2 bedside tables and really unique lamps. Let me show you. So this is a small situation that I love because these lamps are essentially just light bulbs that give off this beautiful soft ray of light. And they are sconces, but they are not actually real sconces because proper sconces would be mounted to the wall. But here we just have basically regular light bulbs that are hung on top of a knot by a string. And this again just creates beautiful lighting that is very versatile and it doesn't take up any space on the bedside table. I love it. To my left, we have this grand, majestic windows that are still historic and that are original from 1905. They have been painted white. And what's so incredible about this suite is the fact that when we look outside, you have the beautiful colors of the autumn and the bright blue sky when you have it looking in and flowing inside the room. For the window tops, we have these beautiful big slabs of stone that are made from a stone called Jura, which is also very regional and it's not that expensive, but it looks very rich. Below me, we have radiators that are actually still original from the 30s, from when I told you throughout the 30s to the 50s, the office building was completely emptied and all of the beautiful historic moldings were destroyed and these radiators were installed. And I love the fact that the designers kept them just to show the history and the overall transition of everything that this building went through. This side is framed by floor-to-ceiling curtains in a warm beige color, and you can see that even though the room itself, you could say it's completely white, but actually the color palette consists of delicate nuances of white to very soft beige. So this actually isn't proper white, but it's this very soft beige color. The old handles of the windows have been replaced with modern ones that still go with the old Parisian flair and the old style of the building. And they are very delicate and you can see that the same design has been used as the door handles throughout the apartment and they just create this very cohesive style. Over here we have a little working table or a makeup table, however you want to use it, and we have a big round mirror that generously opens up the room even more. And we can see again that this layout and this composition doesn't take up any visual space because the table is made from glass and it is essentially just the metal frame, so it's very light. And even the lamp itself is basically invisible because you just have this beautiful glass silhouette and it's very delicate and it just goes with the overall neutral minimalist design of this place. Over here we have a small seating area. We have a lounge chair and a beautiful thick knitted blanket that has been thrown over, and it just creates this very generous atmosphere. Behind me we have the wardrobe, and you can see that the beautiful moldings of the wardrobe give it structure and again create this almost historic appearance. As I told you, this design really stands out for the way that lighting has been used to frame the architecture and to further enhance the design. And again, to frame the symmetry of the room and to really visualize it, we have two sconces placed on both sides that beautifully give off lighting to both the top and the bottom. And this again, sconces are always a great way to visually divide a room further. Oh, and of course, a beautiful little moment that we have over here is this incredible calfskin carpet that again creates this rich and prestigious design, because I believe that the emperors of the former times always had these rich furs lying around, or these lambskins draped over their sofas. So this is the living room. You can see that the color palette is very muted and we have these rich neutrals, and I feel like this design really shows that neutrals layered with neutrals layered with neutrals again can indeed create a very rich and appealing design. Behind me we have the dining room area, and we just have this beautiful massive wooden table, and we can see that the wood itself has been whitewashed to give it just this ancient, rustic, almost Parisian charm. We have 4 white metal chairs that again go with a very neutral color palette, and we can see that we have this rattan that is very lightweight and doesn't add a lot of weight to a room, but that just visually keeps everything very light. Other than that, we have beautiful autumn decor added, such as these candles or these little branches of the last green trees that we find on the outside. And we can see that in the living room area, the color palette stays the same, but to just create a more relaxed and moody design, all of the colors are a little bit darker. So we have a little composition of 3 different sofa tables, and they're all painted in black, but they vary in height, and they just give this room a sense of movement. So it's always very good if you have a very open floor plan. When you have a lot of big pieces of furniture standing in one room, it's always a good idea to use a lot of smaller pieces of furniture and to group them to just create this difference in scale. Over here we again have this rattan chair, and it looks like a beach chair, and it just gives you this very fun and summery vibe. And as I told you, the attention to proper lighting in this apartment is incredible. Over here we again have not just 1, but 2 very unique standing lamps, and you can see that they again give this apartment a new level of sophistication. Also with the color, it's great that not just one element inside this apartment is black, but that actually 2 of them are black, and they really create a zone and a whole nother vibe in this area. On the back wall we again have this little moment where a white painting has been paired and put on top of a white wall. You would think that it's boring putting a white painting on a white background. Because of the beautiful structure of the crunched up paper, this creates a very rich design and a very interesting composition. The biggest takeaway we can take from this design is that sometimes it's not the colors that create the magic moment, but sometimes it's really just all about the textures. And this is just what I love about this place, because we have so many different textures. Below we again have a rattan bench, and it just really finishes the composition. When we look outside, we can have a look at another beautiful brick building that is standing opposite of us. And I think it's amazing that it's standing there, because it just makes us see the material that is the exterior facade of this apartment. And I feel like it just gives us more of a connection to what is outside. Over here we have yet again another beautiful little composition. We have a white sideboard with a lot of straight lines, and to break up the straight lines and to create a sense of dynamic and movement inside this composition, we have all of these differently round and organic shapes placed on top. So we have these beautiful vases, and again you can see they're gray. They aren't a very bold color accent, but they just have this incredible patina and textured surface to them. Behind me we have the kitchen niche, and the kitchen niche is tucked inside a little corner, And this is where we have the kitchenette. And we can see that an almost bluish gray has been chosen as for the kitchen panels. And when we have a look at the handles, we can see that they are very similar to all of the handles that we have at the window frames or at the doors. And this is just the consistency that I was talking about. Other than that, we have a wooden countertop, and the top of the kitchen panels are covered in glass. There you again have this small Parisian kitchen design. Of course, we have these very dark and bold and graphic tiles that have been added as a backsplash, and they just create this very strong visual interest. What's so special about this apartment is the fact that through the use of decor, this story and history is accentuated. And when we have a look at these two beautiful candle holders, you can just see their classical design and shape. And actually, when I look at them, I think of these small things that you use to store salt and pepper. I think that that's quite an interesting reference. When we go inside the bathroom, here we have a very generous, open, minimalistic layout. Over here we have a vanity that is floating. So we again just have this very lightweight design, and the room doesn't feel swamped with all of these big furniture pieces that are standing around. For the color palette, we have soft gray tiles that really make up and frame this room. And again, we have this lamp situation, and these soft lamps that are basically just big light bulbs. They always give off this beautiful soft lighting because they spray the light in every single direction. It just creates a very ambient atmosphere. Other than that, we have a small mirror, and over here we have a walk-in bathroom, and you can see that sometimes less is more. Rather than visually cluttering the space with a shower door, we just have a one open room layout, and this just again creates this very simple, majestic design. One of the biggest perks of the suite is the fact that we have a gigantic terrace, and in the summer, and you just have this big extension of your living space, and it almost makes you feel like you're living in a house. Let me show you. So this is all yours. And yes, and when you come out here, again, you can just see the beautiful historic brick facade of the former post office, and you can just ponder at how this little town in Germany was in 1905 and when everything still was very different. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you like it and learned something new. If you haven't yet subscribed, please go to subscribe. And actually, I also filmed another video in this former post office, and that is in the attic. There is a beautiful, luxurious penthouse suite. See you next week.